royal nursery of the Empress was built like a small palace inside the palace. Its walls were white crystal, smooth like ice, and the ceiling glowed with soft golden light. Outside the wide glass windows, the stars of the nebula belt moved slowly, like a river of colors. Everything in the room was calm, clean, and perfect. Everything except the dragons. 2 baby dragons, barely the size of small dogs, rolled across the floor like playful storms. Their wings were still too soft to fly, but they flapped them anyway, pushing air and knocking over pillows. Their tails slapped the marble tiles. Their little claws scratched the furniture. Their tiny mouths released sparks without warning, burning small black dots into the floor. The Empress watched from the doorway, her face unreadable. She was tall, wearing a dark royal robe that shimmered like a night sky. Her guards stood behind her, silent and tense. In the middle of the room stood the newest babysitter. She was an alien woman from the Zolari Union, a species known for calm minds and strong nerves. She had pale silver skin, 4 delicate fingers on each hand, and large eyes that could see heat and emotion at the same time. She was trained to handle wild creatures. She had once worked on a warship nursery during a rebellion. She believed she could handle anything. Then one baby dragon looked at her. Its eyes were bright and sharp, like a hunter. It tilted its head. It took one small step forward. Then it opened its mouth. A thin line of flame shot out, not big, but fast. It sliced across the air and hit the babysitter's badge. The badge melted in 1 second. The babysitter froze. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. The second baby dragon jumped on a pile of toys, lifted its head, and let out a tiny roar. The roar was not loud, but it carried something deeper. It carried the blood memory of ancient dragons. It carried a warning. The Zolari babysitter backed away slowly. Her hands shook. She tried to smile. The first dragon took another step. The babysitter turned and ran. She did not walk. She did not speak. She ran so fast that her long robe nearly tore. She ran past the Empress, past the guards, and down the hall as if a death squad was chasing her. The Empress did not stop her. She simply watched, calm, while the dragons returned to their chaos. This was the 7th babysitter in 2 days. In the palace hall, the Empress's chief advisor, Lord Vael, stood with a tablet in his hands. His face was tight with worry. "Your Majesty," he said carefully, "the agencies are refusing." The Empress looked at him. "Refusing what?" "Sending more babysitters." The Empress's eyes narrowed slightly. "They work for the Empire." Vael swallowed. "They fear the dragons more than they fear the Empire." The Empress said nothing. She turned her gaze back to the nursery. Inside, the baby dragons chased each other in circles. One of them tried to bite the other's tail. The other one jumped, rolled, and accidentally hit a glass shelf. The shelf shattered. The dragons laughed in their own strange way, like sharp chirps. Vael stepped closer. "Your Majesty, we have a bigger problem." The Empress turned slowly. "Speak." Vael lowered his voice. "The Alien Council is watching. They say your hatchlings are dangerous. They say the Empire is raising weapons, not children." The Empress's jaw tightened. "My children are not weapons," Vael nodded. "I know. But the Council does not care about truth. They care about fear." The Empress walked away from the nursery door. Her footsteps were quiet, but every guard straightened as she passed. "The Council wants an excuse," she said. "Yes," Vael replied. "And they are finding it." The Empress moved toward the long balcony that overlooked the capital city. Outside, the palace towers rose like silver spears. Airships floated between them. Far below, millions of citizens lived their lives, unaware of the panic building behind royal doors. Vael followed. "If the Council declares your hatchlings a threat, they may demand control." The Empress's hands tightened into fists. "They will not touch them." Vael hesitated. "Then we need a solution. Something public. Something that proves the dragons can be safe." The Empress stared into the sky. Her voice was cold. "Find someone who can babysit them." Vael gave a weak laugh. We have tried every elite species, the Carthan Guardians, the Mirai Empathy Tutors, the Vexian Beast Tamers. Even the Thrall soldiers refused. The Empress's eyes flashed. Then find someone else. Vial looked down at his tablet. There is one last option. The Empress turned. What? Vial's voice became even quieter. A human. For a moment the air seemed to freeze. The Empress did not move. A human, she repeated as if tasting the word. Vial nodded. Yes. One human family is already in the capital. They are part of the cultural exchange program. The council invited them to show unity. The Empress's expression stayed hard. Humans are fragile. They are, Vial admitted. But they are also strange. They adapt fast. They are fearless in ways that do not make sense. The Empress looked away. Fearless does not mean safe. Vial stepped closer. Your Majesty, this is not a normal babysitting problem anymore. This is becoming political. If we cannot show control, the council will act. And if they act, they will not be gentle. The Empress's eyes darkened. She was not afraid of the council. She was afraid of losing her children. How old is the human? She asked. Vial blinked. The human babysitter? No, the Empress said. The human child, Vial paused. The family has a baby girl. She is very young. Less than 1 year, the Empress turned sharply. A baby? Yes, Vial said. The exchange program allowed them to bring her. The human said they do not separate family. The Empress stared at him as if he had lost his mind. You want me to bring a human baby near dragon hatchlings? Vial raised his hands quickly. Not alone, Your Majesty. The mother and father will be present, and security will watch. We will stop it if there is danger. The Empress's voice dropped. There will be danger. Vial took a breath. Maybe, but right now we have danger anyway. Babysitters are quitting. Rumors are spreading. The council is preparing statements. We need a miracle. The Empress looked back toward the nursery. A new sound echoed from inside. One dragon sneezed. A burst of sparks flew into the air like fireworks. The Empress's eyes softened for half a second. They are not monsters, she whispered. Vial nodded. No. They are children. But the galaxy is afraid. The Empress stood still for a long time. Then she spoke, slow and controlled. Bring the humans. Vial exhaled in relief. Yes, Your Majesty. The next morning, the palace security team prepared as if for war. They placed heat shields in the nursery corners. They installed invisible force fields. Medics waited outside. Fire suppression drones hovered near the ceiling. The guards stood with stun weapons, though everyone knew those weapons would not stop dragonfire if it became serious. The Empress entered the nursery first. She stood tall, calm, and proud, though her eyes never left her children. The dragons were already awake. They crawled over cushions, chewing a toy made of star metal. Their small teeth left marks in it. Then the doors opened. A human couple stepped inside. They were smaller than most aliens. The man had dark hair and tired eyes. The woman held a baby girl in her arms. The baby wore a soft pink outfit and tiny shoes. Her cheeks were round. Her eyes were bright. The human stopped at the entrance, looking around. Their faces showed awe and fear at the same time. The Empress watched them closely. The baby dragons noticed the newcomers. Both dragons froze. Their heads lifted. Their eyes locked onto the human baby. The room became silent. The guards tightened their grip. The human mother held the baby closer, nervous. The baby girl looked at the dragons, blinked, and made a small sound. Then she smiled. The dragons took one slow step forward, and the Empress realized she was holding her breath. The baby dragons moved slowly, as if they were seeing something impossible. Their small claws clicked against the marble floor. Their wings stayed half open, ready to jump back. Their eyes were fixed on the human baby girl like she was a bright new star. The human mother held her tighter. Her arms were stiff. The human father stepped slightly in front, but his hands were open, showing he had no weapon. Both humans were scared, but they did not run. That alone surprised the palace guards. The Empress stood still, watching every breath, every blink. She did not trust anyone near her hatchlings, but she also knew the council would not wait forever. The baby girl looked at the dragons. She made a soft, happy sound and kicked her tiny feet. Her eyes were wide, curious, and full of light. Then she reached out one small hand, as if she wanted to touch them. The human mother whispered, "No, no, sweetheart." Her voice shook. The Empress raised one hand. "Let the child be." The human mother looked at the Empress with shock. "Your Majesty." They breathe fire. "They do," the Empress said, "but they are babies." The human father swallowed. Human babies are also dangerous in their own way. For a moment the guards did not understand. Then the human father gave a weak smile. "They bite." One guard made a strange sound, almost like a laugh, but quickly stopped. The baby dragon stepped closer. The first dragon, the green one, lowered its head. It sniffed the air. Its nostrils flared. A thin line of smoke rose from its mouth, but it did not flame. It was not anger. It was curiosity. The second dragon, the blue one, made a soft chirp. It sounded like a question. The baby girl answered with a giggle. The sound was small, but it filled the room. It was not a battle cry. It was not a warning. It was pure joy. The dragons froze again. The green dragon tilted its head. The blue dragon blinked slowly. Their tails stopped moving. Their wings relaxed. The Empress felt something strange in her chest. She did not understand it at first. Then she realized it was hope. The human mother took a careful step forward. She did not move fast. She did not show fear. She moved like someone walking near a sleeping lion. Her hands were gentle. The baby girl laughed again, louder this time. The blue dragon suddenly jumped forward. The guards raised their weapons instantly. The Empress lifted her hand sharply. "Do not fire." The blue dragon landed near the baby girl, close enough that its warm breath touched her face. The human mother gasped. The baby girl reached out and grabbed the dragon's small horn. The dragon did not attack. It did not even pull away. It stared at the baby girl, confused. Then it made a soft sound, like a tiny purr. The green dragon stepped closer too, slower than the blue one. It watched carefully, like it was judging the moment. The baby girl released the horn and clapped her hands. The dragons flinched at the sudden sound. The baby girl laughed again. And then, something no one expected happened. The blue dragon chirped, and the sound was almost like a laugh. The green dragon made the same sound, quieter, but real. The human father's mouth opened. Did they just laugh? Vael, standing behind the Empress, whispered, "Your Majesty, the hatchlings have never done that before." The Empress did not answer. Her eyes were locked on her children. Her face was still calm, but her hands trembled slightly at her sides. The human mother slowly sat down on the floor. She placed the baby girl gently on a thick cushion. The baby was stable and safe. The mother stayed close, ready to grab her if needed. The dragons moved around the baby girl in a slow circle, like curious cats. They sniffed her hair. They sniffed her hands. They sniffed her clothes. The baby girl grabbed one dragon's tail and squealed with delight. The green dragon jumped back quickly, startled, but it did not burn anything. It simply watched. The blue dragon lowered its head and pushed a toy toward the baby girl. The toy was a small metal sphere. It had been made for dragons, strong and heavy. The baby girl picked it up with both hands, struggled, then dropped it. She laughed as it rolled away. The blue dragon chased it, brought it back, and pushed it toward her again. The guards stared like statues. They did not know what to do. Their training had not prepared them for this. The Empress took one slow step forward. She had ruled for many years. She had commanded fleets. She had ended wars. But this moment made her feel like she was standing at the edge of something fragile and precious. Vael leaned closer. "Your Majesty, this could change everything." The Empress whispered, "Yes." The human father sat down too, careful not to move too fast. He stayed at a respectful distance. He watched the dragons, and his eyes softened. "I think," he said quietly, "they like her." The human mother nodded, still nervous. "Or they are deciding if she is food." The human father gave a small laugh, but it was forced. The Empress spoke calmly. "They do not eat children." Vial coughed. "They do not eat royal children." The Empress glanced at him sharply. Vael immediately looked away. The baby girl reached out again, this time toward the green dragon. The green dragon hesitated. It was clearly more careful than the blue one, but after a moment, it moved closer. The baby girl touched its nose. The green dragon's eyes widened. Then it sneezed. A burst of sparks flew out like tiny fireworks. The human mother screamed and grabbed the baby girl. The guards aimed their weapons again. But the sparks did not burn anyone. They floated upward and faded like glowing dust. The baby girl stared at the sparks, amazed. Then she laughed harder than before. The dragon stared at her, shocked. Then the blue dragon jumped and tried to catch the sparks in its mouth. The green dragon joined, snapping playfully at the glowing dust. The baby girl clapped and laughed like she was watching the best show in the galaxy. The Empress's lips pressed together tightly. She did not smile, but her eyes changed. They became warmer, softer. Vial whispered, "Your Majesty, the council will need to see this." The Empress said, "Not yet." Vial blinked. "But," the Empress cut him off. "If they see it too soon, they will try to control it. They will try to take the human child. They will try to turn this into a weapon." Vail's face tightened. "You are right." The Empress looked at the human parents. "You have courage," she said. The human father shook his head. "We are just parents. We go where our baby goes." The Empress stared at him. "That is not normal." The human father smiled softly. "Maybe humans are not normal." The baby dragon suddenly made a new sound. A sharp chirp. Urgent. The green dragon's head snapped toward the far corner of the nursery. The blue dragon's wings spread. The Empress turned instantly. The guards turned too. In the corner, near a decorative wall panel, a small drone hovered. It was black, almost invisible. Its lens glowed red. Vael stepped forward. "That drone is not ours." The Empress's voice became ice. "The council." The drone backed away, moving fast toward the ceiling vent. One guard fired a stun shot. The drone dodged. Another guard fired. The drone shot upward. The Empress moved like lightning. She raised her hand, and a pulse of energy burst from her royal ring. The pulse hit the drone mid-air. The drone fell, smoking, and crashed onto the floor. The baby dragons roared. Not baby roars, real roars. The sound shook the room. The windows vibrated. The humans flinched. The guard stepped back. The baby girl stopped laughing. She stared at the dragons with surprise. The blue dragon looked at her, then at the broken drone. Its eyes narrowed. The green dragon stepped over the drone and sniffed it. Then it hissed. The Empress looked at Vial. They were spying. Vial nodded, furious. They are already preparing their attack. The Empress looked at the human baby girl. The child's face was calm again. She did not cry. She simply watched. Then she made a small sound. Not fear. A soft, curious hum. The dragons turned back to her. Their anger faded like smoke. And the Empress understood something that made her blood run cold. The council would not stop at spying. They would come for the human child. Because she was the only one who could control the dragons. And that meant she was now the most valuable thing in the empire. The broken drone lay on the marble floor, still smoking. Its small lens flickered like a dying eye. The nursery felt colder now, even with the warm lights. The Empress stared at the machine as if it had insulted her bloodline. Vial stepped forward and lifted it carefully with a metal tool. "Council design," he said. "Not military. This is a message." The human mother held her baby girl close again. "A message for who?" The Empress answered without looking away. For me, the baby dragons circled the drone, their tails lashed, their wings twitched. The blue one snapped its teeth at the air. Angry, the green one made a low growl, deeper than a creature its size should be able to make. The baby girl watched them. She did not cry. She leaned forward and reached toward the dragons, as if she wanted to calm them. The human father whispered, "Maybe we should go." Vial's eyes widened. "No. Not yet." The Empress turned sharply. "You will not leave the palace." The human father stiffened. "With respect, Your Majesty, we did not agree to become prisoners." The Empress stepped closer. Her voice was controlled, but it carried power. "You are not prisoners. You are protected." The human mother's face tightened. Protected from who? The Empress looked at the broken drone again. From the council, silence filled the nursery. The guards shifted their feet. Everyone understood what it meant when the Empress spoke like that. It meant the council was no longer just annoying. It was dangerous. Vael cleared his throat. "Your Majesty, we must move them." The Empress nodded once. "Yes." The guards opened the side door of the nursery leading into a private hallway. This hallway was hidden from most of the palace. Only the Empress and her closest circle knew it existed. It was built for war, for escape, for secrets. The human parents followed, confused and nervous. The baby girl held a toy the blue dragon had pushed toward her. She squeezed it and giggled softly. The dragons followed close, walking on all fours like little lions. The Empress walked behind them, her eyes sharp. They entered a smaller room, deeper inside the palace. It was quiet. It had thick walls, stronger shields, and no windows. The only light came from a ceiling panel. Vael activated a security screen. Lines of data moved across it. "We have a problem," he said. "The council is calling an emergency session. They will claim the hatchlings are a threat to galactic safety." The Empress's voice was flat. "They already did," Vael nodded. "They will demand that the hatchlings be moved to a council facility. They will say it is for training and control." The Empress's eyes narrowed. "They want my children," Vael hesitated, "and they may want the human baby too." The human mother tightened her grip. "Excuse me?" Vael looked uncomfortable. "Your child is now connected to the dragons." The council saw enough to guess. The human father's face hardened. "Guess what?" The Empress spoke calmly. "That your baby can calm them." The human father stared at her. "She's a baby. She can't calm anything. She just laughs." Vael's voice was serious. "In the galaxy, laughter can be a weapon. Anything that controls dragons is power." The human mother shook her head. "This is insane." The Empress looked at them. "I did not ask for this. But it is real." The baby dragon sat near the baby girl, watching her. The blue one rested its head on the floor, eyes half closed. The green one sat upright, alert, like a guard. The human baby girl reached out and patted the blue dragon's head. The dragon made a happy sound. The Empress watched this, and something inside her shifted again. It was still strange to her, but she could not deny what she saw. Her hatchlings trusted the child. And the child was not afraid. Vael turned to the Empress. "We must decide what to do before the council moves first." The Empress's jaw tightened. "They will not take my children." Vael nodded. "Then we need a public moment. We need the galaxy to see the hatchlings as harmless." The Empress stared at him. "The council will twist anything." Vael lifted his tablet. "Not if we control the story." A live broadcast. A royal statement. The hatchlings playing peacefully with the human child. The Empress's eyes flashed. "And if something goes wrong? If the dragons burn something? If the human baby gets hurt?" The human mother stepped forward. "Then we leave. Right now." The Empress looked at her. "You cannot leave the capital. The council's reach is long." The human father took a slow breath. "So we are trapped." The Empress did not deny it. The human mother's eyes filled with anger. "We came here for peace. For culture. For friendship. We did not come here to be used. Vial's voice softened. No one wants to use you. But the council is already moving. If they take the dragons, they will raise them as weapons. If they take your child, they may do worse. The human mother looked down at her baby girl. The baby girl smiled up at her, innocent. The human father clenched his fists. So what do we do? The Empress turned away and walked to the door. We prepare. Hours passed. The palace became a storm of movement. Guards increased. Doors locked. Secret tunnels were checked. Vial sent messages to loyal commanders. The Empress called her best security team. Outside, the capital continued its normal life, but the air felt tense. News channels began to whisper about council meetings and royal threats. Social networks spread rumors like fire. Inside the private room, the human parents sat with their baby girl. The baby dragon stayed close. They seemed calmer than before, as if the child's presence was a shield. The human father spoke quietly to his wife. Do you think we made a mistake coming here? The human mother shook her head. No, but I think we walked into someone else's war. The baby girl babbled happily and offered her toy to the green dragon. The green dragon sniffed it, then pushed it back gently, like it understood sharing. The human mother blinked. I can't believe this. The human father watched closely. They're like puppies with wings. The green dragon lifted its head proudly, as if insulted. The human baby girl laughed. The green dragon made a soft chirp that sounded almost like a laugh again. At that moment, an alarm sounded. Not loud, but sharp and urgent. Vial entered the room quickly. His face was pale. They are here. The Empress stepped in behind him. Her eyes were cold. How many? Vial swallowed. Council enforcement. 12 units. Armed. They claim they have legal authority. The human mother stood instantly. They're coming for my baby? Vial nodded. Yes. The human father's face went hard. No, the Empress raised her hand. You will stay behind me. The human father shook his head. With respect, Your Majesty, I will not stand behind anyone when my child is threatened. The Empress stared at him for a long second. Then she nodded slightly. Then stand beside me. The baby dragon sensed the tension. Their eyes sharpened, their tails lifted, their wings spread. The baby girl felt the mood change. Her smile faded. She looked at her parents, then at the Empress, then at the dragons. Her lower lip trembled slightly. The human mother picked her up and held her close. It's okay, she whispered. It's okay. The Empress moved to the corridor outside. The guards formed a line behind her. Vial stood at her right. The human parents stayed close. The council enforcement team appeared at the far end of the hallway. They wore armored suits with council symbols. Their helmets were smooth and dark. Their weapons were raised. Their leader stepped forward. By order of the Galactic Council, the dragon hatchlings are to be transferred immediately. The Empress's voice was calm. No, the leader paused. This is not a request. The Empress lifted her chin. This is my palace. The leader's voice became harder. The council has declared your hatchlings a threat. We will take them. The Empress's eyes narrowed. Over my dead body. The leader raised his weapon. And in that moment, the baby dragons roared. The roar exploded through the corridor like thunder. The walls shook. The council soldiers staggered. Their helmets vibrated. The human baby girl began to cry. Her cry was small, but it cut through the roar. The dragons stopped instantly. They turned their heads toward her. Their rage vanished. The Empress's eyes widened. The council leader noticed too. His helmet turned toward the human baby. And the Empress realized, with a cold twist in her stomach, that the council had just discovered the truth. The human baby girl was the key. The council leader spoke slowly. Take the human child. The human mother screamed. The human father stepped forward. And the Empress finally understood. This was no longer a babysitting problem. This was war. The corridor exploded into motion. The council soldiers moved first. 2 of them rushed forward with stun nets, aiming at the human mother. Another raised a weapon toward the Empress. The leader stayed back, watching with cold patience. The Empress did not step away. She lifted her hand, and her royal ring flashed. A thin shield formed in the air, like clear glass, stopping the first stun shot. Sparks danced across it. The palace guards fired back, not to kill but to push. Their stun beams hit the council armor, forcing the soldiers to slow down. The human mother screamed again and turned, trying to run back into the safe room. She held her baby girl so tight her arm shook. The human father ran beside her, his body between her and the soldiers. His eyes were wide, but his face was firm. The baby dragons followed. The blue dragon jumped forward with surprising speed. It slammed into one council soldier's legs, knocking him off balance. The soldier fell hard, armor clanging. The dragon did not bite. It simply pushed, like a child trying to protect its favorite toy. The green dragon opened its mouth. A small flame shot out. Not a full blast, just a warning line of fire across the floor. The council soldiers stopped instantly. The flame burned a glowing path in the marble, bright orange. The heat rose like a wave. Even the armored soldiers stepped back. The Empress turned her head slightly. "Do not burn them," she said sharply. The green dragon's eyes flicked to her. It lowered its head. It obeyed. The human baby girl was still crying. Tears ran down her cheeks. Her small hands grabbed her mother's clothes. The dragons heard the crying and froze. Their wings dropped. Their bodies lowered. Their eyes softened again, confused by the sound. The Empress saw it. The dragons were powerful, but they were still babies. Their emotions moved fast, like fire in the wind. They wanted to protect, but they did not know how to control their instincts. The council leader spoke again, loud enough to echo. "Stand aside, Empress. The council will take the hatchlings and the human child. You cannot stop the law." Vial stepped forward, furious. "This is not law. This is theft." The leader ignored him. He raised his hand. More soldiers appeared from a side passage, trying to cut off the escape route. They moved like trained machines. The Empress's eyes narrowed. "They planned this." Vial nodded. "Yes." The human father looked around quickly. He saw the soldiers behind them, the soldiers in front, in the narrow corridor. His breathing became fast. He was not trained for war, but he understood danger. He looked at the Empress. "Is there another way out?" The Empress pointed down the hallway behind them. "There is a service tunnel. Follow me." She turned and moved fast. The palace guards formed a protective wall around the humans. Vial stayed close, holding his tablet and sending commands. The council soldiers chased. Stun shots flashed through the air. One beam hit the wall and left a black mark. Another hit a guard's shoulder. The guard fell, but another took his place instantly. The Empress reached a hidden door. She pressed her palm to it. The door recognized her and slid open. Inside was a narrow tunnel, metal walls, low ceiling, and dim lights. It smelled like clean machines and cold air. The tunnel ran deep into the palace. The humans rushed inside. The mother carried the baby. The father held her arm, guiding her. The baby dragons ran behind, their claws clicking loudly. The Empress entered last. She turned and lifted her hand again. A shield formed at the tunnel entrance. It would not last forever, but it would slow the council. The council soldiers reached the shield and fired. Their beams struck the barrier, cracking it like ice. The Empress did not wait. She ran down the tunnel. The human mother was breathing hard. "Why are they doing this?" she cried. Vial answered while running. "Power." The human father shouted, "My baby is not a weapon." Vale replied, "To them, everything is a weapon." The baby dragon stayed close to the baby girl. They moved like little guards, their heads turning at every sound. The blue dragon kept glancing at the baby's face, as if checking if she was okay. The green dragon stayed behind, watching for enemies. The tunnel ended at a service lift. The Empress pressed a code. The doors opened. They rushed inside. The lift dropped fast. Above them, the shield shattered. They heard the crack through the metal. The council soldiers entered the tunnel. The lift doors closed just in time. The human mother hugged her baby girl, shaking. The baby girl had stopped crying. She was tired now, her eyes heavy. She made a small hiccup sound. The blue dragon made a soft chirp. It pressed its nose gently against the baby's foot. The baby girl looked down and smiled weakly. The green dragon relaxed slightly. The lift reached a lower level. The doors opened into a wide underground hallway. It was part of the palace's emergency system. Only the Empress and her closest staff knew it existed. Guards were already waiting there, loyal ones, wearing the Empress's symbol. A commander stepped forward. "Your Majesty." The Empress nodded. "Get them out." The commander hesitated. "Out where?" The Empress's eyes were sharp. "To the human embassy." Vielle looked shocked. "Your Majesty, that is outside the palace." "The council will expect it," the Empress answered. "Yes, but the council cannot legally attack the embassy without starting open war." Vielle swallowed. "They might start war." The Empress said, "Then they will show their true face." The human stared at her. The human father spoke quietly. "You are risking everything." The Empress looked at him. "So are you." They moved again. The underground hallway led to a hidden transport bay. A small royal shuttle waited there, sleek and fast. It was not a public ship. It had no markings. The commander opened the shuttle door. "We can reach the embassy in 6 minutes." The Empress turned to the human parents. "Get inside." The human mother hesitated. "Are you coming?" The Empress looked toward the tunnel behind them. She could already hear distant footsteps. The council soldiers were close. "I will delay them," she said. Vielle stepped forward quickly. "Your Majesty, you cannot stay." The Empress's voice was cold. "I can, and I will." The human father stepped closer. "You don't have to do this." The Empress looked at him. "They want my children. They want your child. If I run, they will chase. If I stand, they will slow." The human mother's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you." The Empress did not answer. She turned to the baby dragons. They looked up at her. The Empress knelt slightly, lowering herself to their level. Her voice became softer. "Protect the human child," the dragons chirped. The Empress added, "Do not kill." The green dragon hesitated. The Empress's eyes hardened. "Do not kill." The green dragon lowered its head in obedience. The blue dragon chirped happily, as if the rule was easy. The human mother entered the shuttle with the baby girl. The father followed. The baby dragons jumped in after them, curling on the floor like loyal pets. Vale stepped inside too, then paused. He looked back at the Empress. "Your Majesty." The Empress raised her hand. "Go." The commander closed the shuttle door. The engines hummed. The shuttle lifted and shot forward into the underground launch tunnel. The Empress stood alone in the transport bay with a small group of guards. Moments later, the council soldiers arrived. Their leader stepped forward, weapon raised. "Where are they?" The Empress stood tall. "Gone." The leader's voice became furious. "You are committing treason." The Empress laughed once, a sharp sound. "Treason? I am the Empire." The leader aimed his weapon. The Empress raised her hand. A pulse of energy slammed into the floor, creating a shockwave. The council soldiers stumbled back. The guards rushed forward, pushing them away from the transport bay. The council leader shouted orders. More soldiers poured in. The Empress fought like a storm, using shields, energy bursts, and precise strikes. She did not kill. She only broke weapons, knocked soldiers down, and forced them back. But she knew she could not hold forever. Above, the council's main fleet was already moving. Vielle's tablet had warned them earlier. Ships were taking positions over the capital for safety. The Empress realized the truth. The council was ready to take control of the empire by force. The shuttle raced through the underground path toward the embassy. Inside, the human baby girl giggled again, unaware of the war around her. The blue dragon chirped happily. The green dragon watched the door, tense. The human father looked at his wife. "This is insane." The human mother whispered, "We need to protect her." The father nodded. "We will." The shuttle reached the embassy zone. The pilot spoke through the speaker, approaching surface exit. Then the tunnel lights flickered. The engine stuttered. The shuttle shook. Vael looked up sharply. What is happening? The pilot's voice became tight. We are being pulled. Some kind of magnetic lock. The shuttle slowed. Outside, heavy metal gates began to close. The council had blocked the exit. The shuttle was trapped underground. The baby dragon stood up, growling. The human baby girl laughed, thinking it was a game. And Vael realized the council had not just planned a capture. They had planned an ambush. The shuttle shook again as the magnetic lock pulled harder. The engines whined, fighting, but the ship could not move forward. The underground exit gate was almost fully closed now, leaving only a narrow gap of light. The pilot cursed softly. They have control of the tunnel. Vael grabbed the comm panel. Can you reverse? The pilot shook his head. No. The lock is behind us too. They trapped us from both sides. The human father's face went pale. So we're stuck in a metal tube with dragons and a baby. The human mother held her baby girl close. The baby girl was still calm. She had no idea what was happening. She looked at the dragons and smiled, as if she expected them to play again. The blue dragon chirped at her, trying to make her laugh. The green dragon did not chirp. It stared at the closed gate with hard eyes. Its tail moved slowly, like a whip. A loud metal sound echoed through the tunnel. Something heavy was moving outside. Then a voice came through the shuttle speakers, cold and amplified. Human family, surrender the child. Empress's advisor, surrender the hatchlings. You will not be harmed. Vael's face tightened. Lies. The human father shouted at the speaker, She's a baby. What is wrong with you? No answer came. Only silence and then the sound of boots outside. The shuttle's side door suddenly flashed red. A cutting laser touched the metal. The pilot backed away. They are opening us. The human mother looked around in panic. What do we do? Vael's mind moved fast. We cannot fight council soldiers in a tunnel. We need space. The human father said, There is no space. The blue dragon growled softly. The green dragon opened its mouth, and smoke rose. Vael raised his hand quickly. No fire inside. It will burn the oxygen. The green dragon snapped its mouth shut, angry. The baby girl made a small sound, like a question. The human mother kissed her forehead. It's okay. The cutting laser grew louder. The metal began to glow. Then the baby girl laughed. It was a small laugh, but clear. The humans froze. Vael froze. Even the pilot froze. The baby girl was looking at the glowing metal like it was a funny light. The blue dragon chirped back, happy. The green dragon stared at the baby girl, then at the metal. Its eyes narrowed. It understood something in its own baby way. It understood that the light was danger. It understood that the baby girl was not afraid. And that made the dragon furious. The green dragon moved to the shuttle wall and pressed its nose against the glowing cut. Its scales began to shine. Heat rolled off its body. Vael stepped forward. Stop. The green dragon did not stop. It breathed a thin line of fire directly into the cut. The metal melted faster. The human screamed. Vael grabbed the human father's arm and pulled him back. Move. The green dragon's fire was controlled, not wild. It burned only the cut line, widening it. In seconds, a hole opened in the shuttle wall. Cold air rushed in. The council soldiers outside shouted. The green dragon stepped back, then slammed its head into the weakened metal. The wall burst outward. The tunnel filled with smoke and sparks. The council soldiers outside stumbled back. The green dragon roared. The roar hit the soldiers like a physical. Their helmets vibrated. Their formation broke. The blue dragon jumped through the hole first. It landed on the tunnel floor, wings spread, teeth bared. The green dragon followed. The council soldiers raised their weapons. The blue dragon rushed them, not to kill, to push. It slammed into one soldier's chest, knocking him into another. Two fell. The dragon jumped over them and snapped at the stun rifles, biting them in half with sharp teeth. The soldiers shouted in panic. The green dragon breathed fire again, not at bodies, but at the floor between the soldiers and the shuttle. The fire created a burning wall. The heat forced the soldiers back. Vielle stared in shock. They are protecting. The human father looked at his wife. They're defending her. The human mother whispered. Because she laughed, Vielle moved fast. Everyone out now. The pilot climbed out through the hole. Vielle helped the human mother, guiding her carefully. The human father climbed out last, holding the baby bag. The baby girl reached toward the blue dragon. The blue dragon chirped and moved closer, like it wanted her to be happy. The green dragon stayed between them and the soldiers, growling. The council leader appeared at the far end of the tunnel. His armor was heavier than the others. His weapon was larger. He walked slowly, confident. "You are making this worse," he said. Vielle shouted, "You are kidnapping a child." The leader answered, "We are securing a resource." The human father's face twisted with rage. "She's not a resource." The leader raised his weapon. "Hand her over." The baby dragons roared together. The council leader did not step back. He activated a device on his wrist. A pulse of energy shot out and hit the dragons. The dragons screamed. Their bodies jerked. Their wings spasmed. The baby girl cried instantly, hearing their pain. The human mother screamed. "Stop." The council leader smiled behind his helmet. Control collars. Designed for dragons, Vielle's blood ran cold. They already built them. The dragons struggled, trying to move, but their muscles locked. Their eyes filled with fear and anger. The baby girl cried harder. Then the baby girl did something strange. She leaned forward in her mother's arms and reached toward the dragons. She made a sound, not a word, but a soft call. The dragons heard it. Their eyes turned toward her. The green dragon's breathing slowed. The blue dragon's wings relaxed slightly. The collar still hurt, but the dragons did not panic. The council leader's voice became sharp. "Take the child." 2 soldiers rushed forward. The human father stepped in front. He had no weapon. He was shaking. But he did not move away. The first soldier aimed a stun net at him. The human father grabbed the net launcher. The soldier pulled back. The human father held on. They struggled. The second soldier raised his weapon. Vielle moved, trying to help, but a soldier hit him with a stun baton. Vielle fell to his knees, gasping. The human mother backed away, trapped against the shuttle. The baby girl cried. The council leader walked closer, calm. "This is pointless." The human father's arms shook. He was losing. Then a new sound filled the tunnel. A low hum. A heavy hum. The council soldiers froze. The leader turned his helmet. The sound came from above. From the tunnel ceiling, a hidden door opened, and a squad of palace guards dropped down. They wore the Empress's symbol. Behind them came the Empress herself. Her robe was torn. Her hair was slightly loose. There was a burn mark on her shoulder, but her eyes were sharp and alive. She looked at the council leader. "You touched my children," she said. The council leader raised his weapon. "You are too late." The Empress raised her hand. A shockwave blasted through the tunnel. Council soldiers flew backward like dolls. Their weapons clattered away. The leader staggered but stayed standing. The Empress stepped forward, breathing hard. "Release them." The council leader laughed. "The council has already voted. Your reign is over." The Empress's eyes flashed. "Then the council has chosen war." The council leader pressed a button on his wrist. The dragon collars tightened. The dragons screamed again. The baby girl screamed too. The sound of the baby's scream was sharp, pure, and full of pain. The blue dragon's eyes widened. The green dragon's eyes widened. They stopped fighting the collars. They looked at the baby girl, and something inside them changed. Their scales began to glow, not like fire, like light. A strange golden light spread across their bodies. The collars began to smoke. The council leader stepped back. "What is that?" Vielle whispered, shocked. "Bonding." The Empress stared. "No, that is older than bonding." The dragons roared again. This time, the roar did not shake the walls. It shook the air itself. The collars cracked, then shattered. Pieces fell to the floor like broken chains. The dragons stood free. The council soldiers panicked. The council leader raised his weapon. The Empress moved first, slamming him with an energy strike. The leader fell. The baby dragons did not kill anyone, but they charged. They pushed soldiers down, broke weapons, and forced them back into the tunnel's darkness. The Empress pointed. "Go." To the embassy. The commander opened a side passage. It led to a smaller service route, hidden from council maps. The humans ran. Vale limped, holding his side. The baby dragons ran beside the baby girl, protecting her like knights. The Empress stayed behind again, blocking the tunnel with her guards. As the humans disappeared into the passage, the Empress heard the council leader's final words through the chaos. "You cannot hide forever. The fleet is above your city." The Empress's eyes lifted. She knew it was true. The council was not done. This was only the beginning. The hidden passage opened into the lower level of the human embassy. The doors sealed behind them with a heavy sound. Human security officers rushed forward, confused but ready. They carried simple pulse rifles, not as advanced as council weapons, but strong enough to defend their ground. The human ambassador stared at the scene in shock. What is happening? Vielle stepped forward, breathing hard. The council has declared control over the hatchlings and the child. They are moving to take the capital. The ambassador looked at the human mother holding her baby girl. Then he looked at the two glowing dragons standing protectively beside her. "This is not diplomacy anymore," the ambassador said quietly. Above the city, the council fleet moved into formation. Large ships blocked the sunlight. News channels across the planet showed the sky filling with metal shadows. Citizens panicked. Markets closed. Air traffic stopped. Inside the palace, the Empress continued fighting to slow the council soldiers. She knew she could not win inside the palace forever. The real battle would not be with weapons. It would be with truth. Inside the embassy, the baby girl stopped crying. She looked at the dragons and reached out her small hands. The dragons lowered their heads close to her. Their scales still carried a faint golden glow. The human father looked at Vielle. "What was that light?" Vielle shook his head slowly. Ancient dragon records speak of a rare bond. Not control. Not training. A true bond. It happens when dragons choose someone with pure intent. The human mother whispered, "She's just a baby." Vielle answered, "Maybe that is why." The ambassador stepped forward. "The council fleet is requesting access to embassy space." Vielle's eyes hardened. "Deny it." The ambassador nodded. "Done." A loud voice suddenly filled every screen inside the embassy. The council leader appeared, armor damaged but still standing. "Citizens of the Empire," he announced, "the Empress has lost control of her hatchlings. She has endangered the galaxy by hiding dangerous beasts, and a human child used to control them. For safety, the council is assuming temporary authority." Vielle muttered. "They move fast." The human father looked at the screen showing fear across the capital. People believed them. The baby girl made a small happy sound and clapped her hands. The dragons chirped in response. Vielle turned sharply. "That is it." The ambassador blinked. "What?" Vielle looked at the human parents. "We broadcast." The human mother frowned. "Broadcast what?" "The truth," Vielle said. Within minutes, the embassy activated its global signal. Screens across the capital flickered. The council message cut out. The image changed. It showed the embassy room. It showed the human baby girl sitting on a soft mat. It showed the two baby dragons beside her. No soldiers, no weapons, no fire, only quiet. The human father sat nearby. The human mother smiled softly, still nervous but calm. Vielle stepped into the frame. "Citizens of the Empire," he said clearly, "you have been told that the hatchlings are monsters." The camera zoomed slightly. The baby girl laughed. The blue dragon rolled onto its back like a playful pet. The green dragon carefully nudged a toy toward the child. Across the city, people stared at their screens. The dragons were not attacking, they were playing. Vale continued, "You have been told that a human child controls them. Watch closely." The baby girl grabbed the green dragon's horn gently and made a silly noise. The dragon blinked, then made a soft chirp that sounded like laughter. The human mother spoke next. Her voice was simple and honest. She does not control them. She does not command them. She laughs. They respond. The human father added, "There is no weapon here. There is trust." The broadcast split the screen. On one side, the council fleet hovered above the city like a threat. On the other side, 2 dragon hatchlings played gently with a baby. The difference was clear. Inside the palace, the Empress saw the broadcast on a broken wall screen. She smiled for the first time that day. Above the city, council ships hesitated. Citizens began to speak on public networks. Messages spread fast. They are just babies. The council lied. Why send a fleet against children? Pressure grew. The council leader appeared again, furious. This is manipulation. But his voice sounded weaker now. Inside the embassy, something changed again. The baby girl suddenly crawled forward and placed both hands on the floor. She looked at the dragons with bright eyes. The dragons moved closer. The golden light returned, stronger this time. It spread from the dragons toward the child, like warm sunlight. Then something impossible happened. The light expanded beyond them. It filled the room. It moved through the embassy walls. It spread across the city like a silent wave. Citizens looked up as a soft golden glow passed through the sky. Council ships detected a strange energy reading. Vielle stared at the monitors. "That energy, it is not a weapon." The ambassador whispered, "What is it?" Vielle understood slowly. "Dragons are ancient, older than the Empire, older than the Council. That light, it is recognition." Across the city, animals calmed, fear faded. Even soldiers on both sides lowered their weapons without knowing why. Inside their ships, council officers felt something simple and clear. Peace. The baby dragons were not made for war. They were made to guard life. And they had chosen. The golden wave touched the council fleet. Power systems flickered. Not destroyed. Just quieted. Weapons went offline. Engines slowed. The council leader shouted orders, but his commands did nothing. The fleet hovered, harmless. Inside the palace, council soldiers felt their weapons power down. The Empress stepped forward and raised her voice. "This is what you feared." Her words were broadcast now too. Not destruction, not conquest, but unity you cannot control. Inside the embassy, the baby girl yawned. The golden light faded slowly. The dragons curled beside her, calm and proud. Across the city, citizens cheered. Council members began sending emergency signals to retreat. The fleet slowly pulled back from the capital. The council leader's final message was short and cold. "This matter is not finished." But everyone knew it was over. The council could not fight what the galaxy had just seen. Days later, the Empress stood in the embassy courtyard beside the human family. The dragons played nearby, under watch but relaxed. The Empress looked at the human parents. "You have changed the Empire." The human father smiled. She did. The human mother adjusted the baby girl in her arms. She just laughed. The Empress looked at the child. Sometimes that is enough. The dragons walked to the baby girl again. The blue one chirped softly. The green one lowered its head in respect. The baby girl reached out and patted them both. The Empress looked up at the clear sky. The council fleet was gone. Peace had not come from force. It had come from trust. And in that simple moment, the Empire understood something new. The strongest power in the galaxy was not fire, not fleets, not control. It was a human baby girl who laughed at dragons, and dragons who chose to laugh back. The unexpected war had ended, not with destruction, but with a child's joy echoing across the stars.